been a really cool event. I've been trying to catch some of the panels before this. And Decentral, yeah, if people are going to be down there in Miami, Secret is an Emerald sponsor of Decentral down in Miami. So Secret Network will be down there. We've got some booths. We got a lot of people coming. We're going to be giving out more of these sweet hats. We brought about 500 of these to New York the other week, and they were all gone in 48 hours. So the privacy hats are flying off the shelves. We'll probably have some special swag there as well. I think this is the hat that's got the special pins on it as well. So if you're there in person, drop by. We've got some one-of-a-kind stuff. If you don't know what Secret does, we're the only private by default blockchain which does smart contracts. And that also has huge implications for NFTs. So this little demo period that we're going to do for NFTCON is just to talk a little bit about what secret NFTs are, how they're going to work, what makes them different from other NFTs. I want to at least start by saying, if you're watching this and you like if you like NFTs or you don't like NFTs, I think you're really going to be excited about secret NFTs. For people who are super excited about NFTs in that design space, secret NFTs unlock a bunch of stuff that's never been possible before. If you think about NFTs and you think that it actually is a huge bubble and kind of scammy, well, secret NFTs aim to solve a lot of those big problems that people sense about NFTs. Like, we try to make NFTs feel more like real world ownership, where they're only publicly accessible to the people you say, where certain things about it are only accessible to the owner instead of to everyone. So this is just to talk a little bit about how privacy coming to NFTs is going to unlock that next stage of growth for NFTs as an idea in Web3, but it's also going to just really embed them permanently in culture. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about a little bit. So we'll jump straight into the stash page here. So this is actually a little bit of a sneak preview about the first NFT marketplace that's going to be launching on Secret Network. You know, Secret is its own standalone layer one blockchain. So Ethereum has a lot of NFT marketplaces. Now Solana has NFT marketplaces. Tezos, Near, all of these are great layer one blockchains, but they're all public by default blockchains. Secret has privacy by default at layer one. What that means is that we can build things on Secret that you can't build anywhere else. That means applications on Secret run and protect data by default, and only when the user or developer says you should share this data with somebody else does it get shared. This is a massive expansion in what you can do with decentralized technology, period. But for NFTs, it's particularly special. So right now, by the way, if you go to this site, you want to follow along with me, it's stash with 2h's.co. You can actually go and request access right now to our alpha and then the beta that's launching. But this is coming to mainnet extremely soon. So you're part of the last testing phase if you get in right now. The idea is that NFTs could be a lot more than they are today. Right now, they're good for something that's been really hard to accomplish to this point in the world, which is digital scarcity. If you own an NFT, you definitely own something. You have the rights to something. It points on a blockchain that you own some kind of piece of art. But what's to stop somebody else from just, also claiming that they own that piece of art if they mint it themselves, or if they just save a copy of the file, right? There's something that creators have a hard time grasping about NFTs, and it makes a lot of sense because to them, that's not real ownership of their art if they have to share it with everybody in the world by default. That's a major limitation. In addition, if you're a collector and you need to publicly display your collection all the time to everyone, well, maybe you do want to show it off, but maybe you actually want to sell access to your gallery, or maybe you only want to show your friends. Or, say you're an artist and you want to monetize some aspect of your work. How are you going to do that if everything about that NFT is public to everyone else? So privacy is enabling the real power of what NFTs are supposed to be. And they're going to make NFTs make a lot more sense to creators in the traditional world who to this point have been skeptical. I think that this is the technology that's going to turn them not only into believers, but into some of the most active creators in the space. So the three things you really get with native privacy and secret NFTs in particular is you get this idea of trustless access control. So it's the consumers and the creators being able to say how somebody can buy and display and use the NFT. So this goes beyond art, right? You can imagine an NFT representing any real world asset or an in-game asset. This also means you get built-in exclusive content. You can embed right in the NFT a piece of metadata that's not only public to everybody, but just to the owner. And that's a great way to start monetizing work as a creator, putting something in the public metadata that you want to share publicly, because it shows what you're going to get when you purchase the piece. Maybe it's a watermarked or low quality version of your art. But then when you actually purchase it, embedded in the artwork itself, in the private metadata, only viewable by the owner, is the high resolution piece itself, or some other scarce quality that you only want the owner to have. This is also really good for community use cases where you want to be able to unlock access to a community via the metadata. And lastly, the private by default ownership. That's really cool because as an NFT owner, you start private by default. And if you want, you can make your ownership public. But it doesn't work the other way. If you start on a blockchain like Ethereum or Solana, everything starts public. You can't just make it private again. After that point, you've already revealed everything to everyone. So we're excited about the idea of starting private by default with ownership, but being able to reveal ownership when you want, or reveal certain traits or properties of the NFT that you own. There's a bunch of other things that secret NFTs can unlock, including things like loot boxes or unwrappable traits with rarities and in-game assets that have really cool properties, true randomness. But rather than dig into all that specifically, I wanted to give you guys a quick look at the Stash platform itself. So we'll jump in here. This is the alpha test version. So we've been deploying a lot of the new designs right now, but you can expect to see this all live on mainnet soon. Secret NFTs are actually already live on mainnet. If you wanted to go make one yourself, you could. But a lot of people are waiting for there to be a full stack marketplace for their first drops where they can trade, where they can display their NFTs. So all of this is going live in the next few weeks, not just on testnet, right? On mainnet, everything that you can use right now as a creator or as a collector. And we've already got a number of artists looking to do their first drops on Secret. And we also have some creators from the traditional legacy mainstream world who, when they heard about the power of Secret NFTs, decided this was going to be their first step into the NFT world. And Secret was the only platform that they would want to launch on. So we're excited to share more of that in November as well. For today, we'll take a quick look at the Stash platform. So it looks like other marketplaces, as you can imagine, but when you're landing on it, you're going to see that a lot of the NFTs that you see, even though they're on sale, you might have the public metadata as representing an image that you don't have the full quality version for. And only if you purchase it are you going to unlock the high resolution version that you could see for yourself or that you could display. But you can always choose to buy it and then display that private metadata. You can choose to make it public and now have it displayed to everybody. As an artist, though, you don't have to give away that value of your work up front. You can create the NFT and then somebody needs to purchase it in order to unlock that value. It's a much better model for creators. And it also puts all the control in the hands of the collectors. So you can see there's a bunch of different, if you click through here, walkthroughs of what this means for real world applications, for the gaming space, just to walk it down. You can create your own collections. We can even go right now. If you wanted to create your own collection, you would go in here to create a collection, pops up like you'd imagine, a logo image and a banner image for your collection. You'll be able to name it, describe it. But then also you'll have this option here where you can hide a collection, or you can hide ownership inside of the collection by default for the NFT owners. And then when you go through the collection and you decide to like actually set the properties of the individual NFTs, you'll be able to set those private metadata qualities as well. So it makes Stash a really powerful platform, but this is not the only platform on Secret Network. And there's a lot of different projects right now figuring out how to mint on Secret Network and mint awesome collections. I'll give a shout out, of course, to the Anons. There's only 580 Anons. You can go follow them at Anons NFT on Twitter. That's going to be probably the first PFP collection to drop on Secret Network. The art looks super cool. Let's go take a look, actually. I think I can pull it up. Anons NFT. So if this is the kind of art that appeals to you, we've got some privacy-focused artists who are launching in the network. Everything on the network stands for privacy, pretty much, as the hat says, but a collector or a creator of any kind can make their own community there and build a home. Anons obviously being just one of the first. But this is great because that means as a creator, if you have an idea like this, Secret is the perfect platform to launch on and build a long-term community. We think Secret NFTs as a standard are just going to be substantially more sustainable. And the one thing I haven't mentioned but should is we're also a privacy hub, which means Secret is built to be interoperable with every other blockchain. meaning we're prioritizing bridges to Ethereum, to Solana, to other chains that have a massive NFT presence so that you can get the privacy capabilities of Secret Network while also enjoying the passionate communities of these other networks. And we'll be able to bridge your NFTs back and forth across chains. But only on Secret Network will you have those guarantees of private ownership or have those guarantees of private metadata. So if you want to make sure you're keeping track of the Stash launch, I would recommend you first sign up on that site, as I said, stash with 2h's.co. You'll also want to probably follow on Twitter. You'll notice Stash hasn't tweeted yet, but I'm very certain that they will soon. And if you want to keep up with project updates more generally, obviously Secret does a lot more than just NFTs or just one platform. In fact, we're launching a lot of things in the very near future, including our massive Supernova upgrade, which is coming either at the end of October, as it says here, or very, very early in November, leading up to Decentral at the end of November again. So this is the perfect time to get involved in the community, a perfect time to start learning about the importance of privacy to Web3 and privacy for NFTs in particular. And the last thing I'd encourage you to do is to go to our agents landing page. Go to scrt.network, that's our homepage, /agents. You'll land right here. Secret Agents is a community program where you can get SCRT rewards or get your own secret NFTs, secret swag, just for helping us defend privacy on the decentralized web. We're one of the first projects to be working on defending privacy of any kind on the web, Web3 or otherwise, but the agents are a massive part of that. And we would love to have you be a part of the program. We'll send you missions directly. It's a great opportunity to start getting involved with the network and with the NFTs and with the platforms more substantially. So I said a bunch of things. You can follow on Twitter. You can sign up for the Stash beta. You can become a secret agent. You can meet us down in Miami for Decentral. Honestly, I would recommend doing all of those things right now. But if you want to just go ahead and just follow me, I'm also on Twitter. I'm Bair. I'll pull that up as well. And there I am. You can't really tell, I suppose, there, but I promise it's me wearing the same hat. So yeah, I'll jump back over because I think, Michael, you wanted to chat a little bit, or maybe you had a couple questions about what I showed. I tried to blitz through a lot of stuff because there's just so much to say on the secret NFT side, but we're just so jazzed to show off way more of this in Miami in person as well.
Yeah. I was like looking at it. I was like, right when you were talking about it, I applied for the requested access. Yeah, but kind of like I kind of wanted to like ask a little bit. I guess like I'll give some community questions first.
Yeah.
So like the first one is like, would this kind of like creating NFTs to kind of be used as voting rights to kind of like validate your participation without it linking to your vote? Like, could this be made into like an NFT?
I wonder if that would work really well as an NFT. You can absolutely, with Secret as a layer one of the best applications is privacy preserving voting. I don't know about national elections because you still need some sort of authentication there. You still need somebody to be able to say that you're a citizen of a country and eligible to vote. But we actually already have private voting for a couple applications on the network. So the one that uses it most is Secret Swap. It's a DeFi platform on the network that allows you to trade tokens for each other. And it's private by default, but also the governance is private by default. So people who are staking on the platform can vote, and then you can know the results of the vote, but you can't associate it directly back to the user. This is really good for protecting against bribery attacks. And honestly, it works exactly like voting does in the real world. The whole point of having privacy on the blockchain is not to create weird systems. The whole point is to be able to create things that look a lot more like things do in real life, but then have it in a decentralized network. In person, we don't reveal all of our votes all the time. In person, we don't reveal our bank account all the time every time we try to send money to somebody. In person, if we want to show off some art that we own, we don't put it in the front of our house on the street, right? Like privacy is part of our daily lives, and without technology like Secret, we can't make it a part of Web3. So we're here to just make sure that these kinds of applications can exist at all, for sure.
Then there was another comment. He was like, from Polo, is like kind of like he likes the idea of it, but like kind of like the art being blurred. Is there a way that you can make the art not blurred whenever you're listing it up, or does it have to be blurred by default with Secret?
It's whatever you want to put in the public metadata. The point is there's a choice. If you're a creator and you're just trying to build your initial audience, maybe what you want to do is put the full quality art in the public metadata, just like you would on Ethereum. But in the private metadata, maybe you have a secret link to your Discord, or maybe in the private metadata, you have a link to another piece of art that's only accessible by the owner, that only the owner is going to know about. So it's a special connection between the artist and the collector. But the nice thing about Secret is you can just make everything public. If you really just want to have completely public artwork, you can have that too. So even if you're a collector who only cares about, just getting your art out there, you don't care about the privacy aspect, we think that being able to build really unique things on Secret is going to bring in a totally different creator and collector audience. And everybody is going to want to reach that audience, whether they care deeply about privacy or not. We just want to be the platform and the network that gives everybody more choice in how they do it.
Then also another comment from Sean as well is like, what are some different applications for Secret NFTs beyond art? I know you went through some of the use cases, but just in case he didn't see, would you be able to kind of like go through some of them again?
Yeah, I think the biggest one for me is gaming, right? And I think like the growth of play to earn gaming in the blockchain space over the last few months has proven there's a huge market for this. But most games, if they're going to stay interesting, require some aspect of privacy. There has to be some shared knowledge between players, but there also has to be some knowledge that only certain players have. Otherwise, the game gets very boring. Chess is an example of like a perfect information game. You can build it on a public by default blockchain, but I don't see why it's interesting on a blockchain versus somewhere else. And I'm not sure that like play to earn chess is very interesting. But if you want to build like really, really fascinating games where like you can battle somebody, but you can't see everybody's statistics, or you want to have a game map, but you have a fog of war, so you can't see where somebody else is standing, this is super interesting and super easy to build on Secret versus building it on a public by default network. And the way that NFTs would work in that is like every game character could be an NFT. Every in-game item could be an NFT. You can have loot boxes with on-chain randomness, with Secret, with true randomness for those drops. You can get in-game items where you unwrap them over time because the properties of those items are in the private metadata. So when you get the item, you can't see everything, but over time, you learn new traits about that item. I mean, it's a trivial use case maybe for gaming, but the point is I'm just trying to make is that's just one of thousands or millions of use cases. And I'm much more interested actually in NFTs where you would call them, I call them productive NFTs, because you're using them in a system, you're using them in gaming. I'm really passionate about seeing NFTs not just become like placeholder images that sit in a marketplace somewhere. You just kind of look at them, but then you're just showing off. Productive NFTs that are interactive, that unlock community, that unlock experiences, but that also grow with a player or grow with a community. To me, that's the future of NFTs. And to me, Secret is definitely best positioned to be the layer one platform that enables that type of innovation.
Another one from Victor. So this one says, do you have any service that kind of like keep proprietary code or like idea secret and usable until it's ready to be deployed on a public decentralized situation? So I think this might be referring to kind of like the locked metadata.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand it. I mean, there's a lot of access control use cases that people are building for the network, including those kind of like time release things or dead man switches or things like that. I'm not sure if this is asking like, can I start building something on Secret but not let everybody know what it is until I'm done? I mean, it is a public permissionless blockchain, and eventually the code of anything you deploy on the network ends up public because you want to know what a smart contract does. You shouldn't use a smart contract if you don't really know what it does. The thing that's different about Secret is that the data is private. So once you deploy an application, anything that you're using as inputs into that application or the outputs of that application or even the state of that application, that's what we keep private. So that unlocks a lot of different things for like the design space. It keeps usability high, it keeps security high. But I don't think, if the question is asking like, are we a platform for keeping all of your code private while you're writing it? I'm not sure that's the intent of Secret Network, but if that's the way that you like to build, there's a lot of people building in stealth in our community, and they seem to be doing a very good job of it because every time they drop something, I get amazed.
Yeah, and then also for that too, it's like I guess like this one would be kind of like from my question. I know you guys are going to be enabling IBC pretty soon. So like with that, would kind of Secret NFTs be able to be cross-chain, interoperable with other blockchains like Luna, or kind of like anything that's going to be within the IBC stack?
Yeah, so there's the IBC right now, and this might be getting technical for some people who are just figuring out NFTs in general, but the idea, I'll start by saying NFTs are destined to be multi-chain. There's nothing that says NFTs are going to live specifically on Ethereum, specifically on Solana, specifically on something. Like, that's not the future of NFTs. You know, the future of NFTs, and I think some other panelists were saying this, really the value of the NFTs is going to be in their community or in their culture or what they unlock for you. On Secret, the value of what you unlock is right on the blockchain. That's why we believe in the long-term, you know, sustainable value creation and value capture for Secret NFTs specifically. But if you want to be able to use your NFTs in other ecosystems, right, and say, oh, I own this, so you collateralize them, let's say, or you just display them on Terra or display them somewhere else. What IBC is eventually going to allow you to do is those cross-chain smart contract calls where these things are a lot closer integrated. Right now, IBC is focused on like transfers of native tokens across chains. But what we're exploring with Secret, even beyond IBC, is with chains like Terra and chains like Ethereum and chains like Solana, the ability to tie things together so you can bridge one NFT directly from one to another. That's less enabled by IBC at this stage than just like the other bridge systems that we're exploring. But all the chains like us, including Terra, that believe in that multi-chain future, we're prioritizing those bridges because we know that's the only way to build a global culture and a global community, is to not say we only live on one blockchain. And then as IBC evolves past just the token transfer stage to involve more support for those cross-chain contract calls, it benefits us even more, because then any chain that wants to run private game logic on Secret can call a Secret contract on our network to run the logic, send inputs from multiple chains into Secret network. Maybe you're battling one NFT on one chain against an NFT on another chain, but the battle happens on Secret network, right? All of this gets unlocked over time as this starts to happen. So yeah, IBC is a massive inflection point for a lot of blockchains. I think NFT wise, we have a lot going on besides that. But from the DeFi perspective and a liquidity perspective, it's massive. It's going to be massive for us, and it's been massive for the other networks that have looked to integrate it for sure.
Wait, I just kind of like thought of something whenever you said Secret enabled, kind of like going into Secret network. So let's say if I wanted to create a database that's, let's say I create a game, right? And there's certain core functions of it, like, okay, let's say if I create a database, I want to keep it secret. I could just kind of deploy that and use that as like place all that data onto a Secret network instead of having it to where it's on other chains like Ethereum, where all the data is actually public. I could kind of be able to toggle some of that, but then have like the other infrastructures, like you know, like any other infrastructure that I want. So I can actually use a game as a multi-chain type of for different use cases as well, right? But still being able to like the loot box section, right? Like if you're playing a game like Fortnite, and then you have loot boxes, and then all of your, you know, the user data that's being stored is then stored on Secret network. Kind of be able to kind of keep that information private, and also with randomization for the loot boxes as well. You know,
this isn't even a question. This is a great idea.
Yeah,
I'm just listening to you now. No, but I know what you're saying. I mean, like the way that we see it, definitely is that all of this is a piece of the Web3 stack, right? Decentralized storage, that's a huge pillar of the stack. Decentralized private computation, another huge pillar, right? So once you combine all of these Web3 pillars, like people who are coming into the NFT space, I think they just think like it's a blockchain and then it lives on the blockchain and that's it. But there's so many other components, especially the access control, especially the storage. You don't think about that if you're an artist coming in first time, but where is your art actually living? What service is actually securing it? So these are things where we're trying to be more of like that access control layer for NFTs, but it happens at layer one on our network. So you get a lot more usability and composability. But for everything you're saying, like, yeah, I think that as more blockchains launch, as more of this tooling launches, and as more creators get hands-on with it, you'll see like what gets used is going to be like what ends up being valuable.
And then also, I'm also thinking of like secret DAOs as well, kind of like well, that's the way that's supposed to be ran, right? It's supposed to be ran that way. So secret DAOs.
When's DAOCon?
So we actually own the domain right for DAOsummit.com. So that's actually one of our
alpha.
that's actually going to be one of our events coming up later on, probably around 2022. So alpha leak for anyone that's in a DAO. There you go.
All right.
We'll be releasing more information about it. It was supposed to be at Decentral, but yeah. Either way. But yeah, so a lot of alphas was released today, and kind of like, Tor, once again, thank you for coming on and talking about secret NFTs. And also, like, once again, it's going to be released within November, so like definitely check us out at Decentral as well. Tor is going to be there with the entire team to kind of show you guys a little bit more about it and also have a really enjoyable event. We're going to be having 3 stages: NFT stage, DeFi stage, and also demo stage. But come for the memes, stay for the connections. All right. Once again,
Yes.
thanks, Tor.
Thank you, man, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, and we'll see you at Decentral.
Yes, you will. See you there.